Alright, that was kind of like a mini blooper there. So let's look. Again, this is the important part of this lesson, is that we're going to call this the C box, top string pentatonic. So here's a 5 string. Root is down here now. Okay. This would be the same if you had cello, would be the bottom 4 strings. Fiddle would be the top 4 strings, if you will. Fiddle would, so there's your G, and bottom string G, D, A, E. In cello, fiddle rather, fiddle violin. Now 5 string violin, you'd have root 5, you'd have C, G, D, A, and E, but it would be an octave higher. It doesn't matter. R is R. No matter where you put R, it's still R. Might be a different root on the keyboard. Now in guitar, the middle C line goes down like this, so I would assume the middle C line goes up with P5. That's not the subject of this particular, but I have worked on this new thing here. Oh, by the way, this is guitar. These are some of the charts I'm doing. I brought this over because this chart was so liked by people. These are half positions. Okay, but I'm working on this. This is guitar only. 478 cage modal shapes for guitar. Different ways to spell out the, and this is the reference chart 352418. Different ways to spell out the diminished chord. And by the way, let's talk about that right now. If we have 724 diminished, okay, just add the 6th and you've got a half diminished 7th. If you take the second minor, 2, 4, 6, and just add the 7th, you have the half diminished 7th. If you take a Mixolydian 7th, basically a G7 chord in the key of C, okay, and you move the G up to the A, which is a 2nd chord. It's a suspended 2 chord. It's a 5, capital V, suspended 2 chord, 7th chord. You get the same thing. So there's 3 ways to spell out the, and the other way is to take the root chord like that, take its 7th, and then drop each scale member by 1 scale. It'll be half steps in one place. It'll be a half step from the root. It'll be a whole step from the 3rd. It'll be a whole step from the 5th. And it'll be a whole step from the 7th. And that's another way to obtain or derive your half diminished. So that's what this chord, yeah, and this also, this particular diagram here, let's just, like based in this, because this is good. So in this particular case, I spell it out as a G. We look here and we see 5 and 6 here, so we know we're in the A box. Okay, so A goes to G encaged. All right, so where do we get this G diminished? Here we're looking at the 6th minor. Obviously, you go ahead and one shape encaged, and you get the 6th minor. This is obviously the A box. I don't know why I spelled this out as G right there. It's one of those adjustments. We're going to look at the chart that we're working on today and see that. Also want to mention, this is an interesting chart that I made. This is chart 479, colored notes on hybrid staff. This is like a commercial almost. We've got the normal notes on normal staff. We've got colored notes on normal staff. So I could look at this, and I'm thinking of getting AI to maybe help me out to just, hey, go ahead and color the notes of this piece of music. So I can look at that and see it's a D without knowing it's a D, without knowing, oh, D is this the second line down from the top there in that clef. But what's most interesting is that color notes on a hybrid staff. A hybrid staff is interesting because it doesn't have notes going way low on the treble staff and way high on the bass clef, rather, because when you have high notes on the bass clef, they actually go into the treble clef. So the only note in between the bass and the treble clef is middle C, and it just marches on here. Here's your bass clef, here's your treble clef. This is actually how it is in reality, and I can show you right here. This is Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, whoever wrote this. This is the G note, because this thing looks like a big script G, and it circles the G note, so that is the G note. Here's the F note. It starts here, makes a circle on the F, and comes around down here and makes it looks like a big F. You see how it looks like a big F? So that's the F note. But the two clefs are actually right next to each other, and in the middle is middle C. So they call it middle C. People think middle C is in the middle of the keyboard. It's actually in the middle of the two clefs. So here's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines on the treble clef, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines on the bass clef, and in between there's this phantom line where the middle C lives. So anything that goes way up on the bass clef actually is going to the middle clef line, middle C line, and then into the treble clef. The reason why they put it on two different staffs is so you can just keep the one hand doing the one thing, but it's so much easier to understand it the way I just explained it, hopefully. So let's look at this chart one more time. We have over here an easy representation of the P5. Okay, if you want to look at this from the top down, it would be easier. So if we look at 3, 4, 5 here, okay, we're not going to be looking at this. We're only going to be looking at 5 strings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not going to be looking at the rest of the chart, the mini chart here. And this is our C box. These are where the notes are. Root would be down here if we're in the key of C. If we're C tuned, right? The lowest playable note, if that root is C, which it is. In cello, it is C. Okay? Then these are our triad notes. Okay, so we have root 5, then up to 3 here, and then root and 5. All right, that's the name of that tune. Okay, so let's realize that P5 also has this relationship maintained, because the subject of this lesson really is true caged. True caged. How do we play true caged? Okay, are we going to look up here for true caged? It's there. I mean, here's true caged. C, A, G, E, D string. Is that true caged? Looks true caged to me. You don't get that on a regular guitar because you have the tuning third. So instead of going to that C and the I guess it would be an F, but it wouldn't be an F, would it? But see, we only have 5 strings here, so it still spells cage. Regular guitar, we've got E, A, D, G, and then C, and then B here, but that would be